Right. So for many people, the business runs them. You don't run it. It doesn't need to be that way. So we want to ultimately have less stress, more profit, and obviously more time to do the things you like to do with those you like to do them with. So some of these things might seem fairly familiar to you at the moment. Lots of rising costs, employment costs, materials, power, fuel, pretty much everything has gone up over the last few years. And you're still getting the same resistance from clients who don't really understand the value, or they don't want to spend as much because maybe they're feeling a little bit squeezed as well. And low margins can be caused by many things, but if you're not operating efficiently in a systemized way, you're going to be leaking profit. There's going to be a few leaks in your bucket. And this tool really, really helps to just tighten everything up in the right way, first time and very quickly. Often the business owners are the bottleneck and doing too much. Like I had a session with someone on the call who I'll remain nameless. A lot of it goes through you. Oh, how do you do this? How do you do that? How do you do this? How do you do that? And it's you feel like you've got kids at home, and then you've actually got work kids as well. So we need to make sure that people can be more sort of self-sufficient, and by using the tools themselves, they can ask the AI assistant rather than asking you. So I think it really just helps to free your time up and less distraction for you. Gives you lots and lots of structure in the right way across all those areas you can see on the bottom. So it has changed. AI is going to change the world. Already has and already will be even more going forward, whether we like it or not. If we're not in it, then we're going to get left behind. Thankfully, all of you lot have been banging on about it for the last 2 or 3 years. So you now are so far advanced than many of your competitors. You really are. I think we take it for granted, but through conversations I had with some of you, the people that you speak to sometimes are nowhere near the level and the advancement of you are. So it's the early birds that win the race, and you definitely won't be left behind. But there's a lack of knowledge often with business owners. They don't know what to do, how to do it, what's the best way, and it can feel a little bit lonely and a bit isolating. So this really does help to give you like a business coach in your pocket, so to answer any questions you've got at any time, but not just for you, but for your team as well. So we can't just keep increasing prices. We've got to look internally, and this tool is the best tool that's going to be able to help you claw back that margin, where your competitors are probably going to still keep suffering, trying to do the same things over and over again and getting the same results. So this for the next 6 months to a year, I think you've got a real huge competitor advantage to steal the march on them and really make some great progress in all areas of your business. But not just for you, for your team members as well. So we've got to protect that profit, and we need to be really, really careful every single day, hitting the projects on time, on spec, on budget, in a much more organized fashion. So like I said, it is like a business coach in your pocket, like an advisor, an operations manager, a sales manager, finance, estimator, a marketing assistant, all in the palm of your hands, giving you the right examples, the right information, the right scripts, templates, checklists, the right answers to everything that you do every single day in every single department. So why is it not just like the standard ChatGPT? Well, look, ChatGPT is great, it's brilliant, and this tool is obviously built on the ChatGPT platform and engine. So that it's amazing. I know a lot of you are using it and were using it normally before. This really is obviously specific to landscape and all my experience of coaching you lot, and refining what works and what has worked best for you. It's got everything loaded into it. It's got all the scripts, the right models, processes, everything. As you know, you've been through it, and it's already making a huge difference to your businesses. But the good thing about it is you don't have to be an expert in thinking, what are the right prompts I need to ask? Because all you need to do is just ask questions, and it will work it out for you. So you don't have to be an expert in wondering, what is the best prompt, or what are the best prompts for me to use? And it is tailored to you. And I'm going to show you exactly how to tailor it to you. And the more you tailor it to you, the more specific and accurate the output will be, really tailored, because it knows your business. It knows how many team members you've got. It knows the results. It knows your goals, everything you want to achieve. So it will keep that in mind always in the background, as long as you ask it to save the information you want it to save. So the benefits really are, you're going to be making more profit. There's going to be much better efficiency across the board. really. Your team members are going to be more productive. So therefore, there's going to be more output, which you'd like to think would lead to more profit if you can do more stuff and a lot more than your competitors can do. Less mistakes because you're doing the right things first time every time. Less stress. And if you are working late nights or evenings ever, for some of you that might sometimes get dragged into that, then if you're saving enough time during the day, you really shouldn't be needing to work any time past your normal sort of working hours. You just you achieve what you want to achieve personally and business wise by always being focused on the company goals. You can load your plans into it, load your 1, 2, 3 year, 5 year personal goals, business goals into it, and it can always refer back to those as well. So ultimately, it gives you more time to do things you want to do outside of your business. Already, I'm seeing most users, individual users, saving at least 5 to 10 hours a week. Now, 5 hours is only 1 hour a day. If you do 5 hours a week, and let's say, just for the sake of argument, your average hourly cost in the office, it might be a bit more, but let's say it's 20 quid and you work 48 weeks in a year, that works out to £4,800 per person just by 1 hour a day. Now, if you've got 5 people, that's 24 grand a year, just straight back to your bottom line. So, but it's not just that that's important. I think with that time, all those hours, what can you do to then reinvest that time into more money-making activity? So, when you really sort of do look at it from a leverage point of view, the more team members you get on board, the better your results are going to be. And I don't think there's any other tool that we've ever had at the end of our fingertips that can give that kind of thing, those kind of results. So obviously margins are going to go up. Just depends on how much they're going to go up by. So just thought I'd give you a little bit of context behind this. And for those of you who haven't been in the conversations with us before, so now I'm going to help you set up your assistant, and then we'll go through just that. We'll do that demo, and then you can start sharing some of your ideas. So just before I do that, any questions? Any questions at this stage? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Okay, good. Let's crack on then. So I'm going to go into the assistant. This is really, really, really beneficial. Okay, and you have to do this. All right, you have to do this. Let's try to see if I can see more of you in the corner. There we go. There we go. Get you all there. So I'm just not just talking to my screen. Right. So as you know, you go into the assistant here. You think, well, where do I start? As the owner of the company, you will have the primary account, and when you've got the primary account, you answer all the company questions that it asks here. So what you will do, there's 3 things you really need to do on this page as soon as you get started. So as the primary account holder, you click ask me about my business. I'm going to do that in a second. And then once you've done that and saved it, then you say, click this one. What can you help me with? It will give you a whole bunch of stuff tailored to what you have saved in there in terms of your company information. Once you've done that, you'll then go, how can I get the most out of the AI system? Okay, so if I click this first one now, you'll see I've changed it over the last 48 hours. I asked it to put the questions in list format because it was there were chunks of paragraphs with questions within it, and it wasn't quite as easy. So now every time you click that, you're gonna get this, but you only have to do this once. Okay, so don't worry. There's a lot of questions, but the more it knows about you and your business, the better output it's going to give you. So you can see here, you got loads and loads of questions broken down by the different areas of your business. And I know it looks like a lot, and it is a lot, but you only do it once. So what you want to do, instead of typing it all out, instead of cutting and pasting these, putting them into a Word document and then typing them and then cutting and pasting, don't worry about that. What I think you should do, you can click this button here, use voice. So click that and then go up to the top and say 1, answer that question. 2, answer that question. So you can commentate your way through it. Once you've gone all the way through to the end, then you can click submit. Once it does that, it will then start offering some other things it can do for you, like it says here. Don't worry about that at this stage. I think all you need to do, you must remember, once you've answered all the questions, say, save this information. And then you'll see it says memory up, and it's saved at the top. You get a little note. So make sure you see that note that says save to memory. Right. So if I just go back again, and go back to the main part, when you click the what can you help me with, it will really give you, it's basically training you on how to get the best out of the system. You see here, as a business owner, it will tell you what you need to do. If you're a sub account holder and you're a team member, it will know that that's what you are. And you can say, and I will go through this in a minute, but you can say, like, my role in the business is accounts. Then it will say how I support you in your accounts. And it just really gives you some food for thought, because you think, well, what do I do? How does it help me? How can I use it? So there we go. It gives you really clear ideas. So if I just go back to the home part again and just show you what it does when I say, how can I get the most out of it? I'm going to program these questions for a reason, so that you can really get set up properly. So for any of you who are not really very experienced of using it, it really will help you to just sort of hold your hand through the whole process, really. You can see the kind of stuff. I don't need to read it out, so you can just sort of get a general gist. And when you do it yourself, have a good steady read of it, understand it, process it, and then you can start playing around with it. Okay, so it tells you exactly how to do that. So, oh, Tess has just arrived in the way to Ruddle, Erin. Okay, so when you have your account, so let's say you've signed up, you've got your welcome email, you've logged in. This is the page you'll see. Now go to subscriptions, and I'm just going to make you smaller up. No, I'm going to make you. I'll get rid of that. Now, here we go. So you'll see this one, free client access over here, and you want to click. Oh, I don't know what I've done with this screen. Get out of the way. Oh. Sorry, it's duplicated my screen for some reason. Let me just clear that. Start sharing here. Technology, I won't touch anything now. I'll leave it. Right, over here you've got actions. Click these three dots, these three vertical dots. You see that sub account thing show up. Once you get into the next stage, click add sub account. It's very simple. You can create a username yourself, which may be the email of that person. Put their first name, last name. Once you click that, submit, they will get their welcome email. They will get the opportunity to create their own password. Once they've got that, they can get in. And like I said, when you do it, when you go here first time, you do your company information. When they come here first time, the important thing to sort of note is that on the primary account, that's where all your company information is. When you've got sub accounts, they don't need to do that, because all of the information is already stored on the company's main information. What would be a really good thing for individual team members to do is say, right, my name is so-and-so, my role is this, save this information. If you've got job descriptions and you want to attach that into there as well, that would be really good, because it will really know what your roles and responsibilities are within the business. And when you've got all your team set up underneath the main primary account, then it really understands, the whole structure of your business, and any information that each person from each department puts in, it will just give them very specific information about their role and what they need to focus on. One good question yesterday, I had was on a call with Chris Stone. He said, how could they get access to sensitive information, so financial information or anything else, HR stuff? And they can't, as long as you say specifically, don't share the finance, don't share the HR. So it will remember that, and it won't allow them to get access to any of the financial kind of information that you might have saved in there. Okay, so that's interesting and important to remember. I'm going to share with you some documents that I'm going to load in, and a prompt sheet that I have, which looks like this. So for when let's say, for example, in this case, you want to create a proposal in minutes, if not seconds. One thing to always remember this, whenever you do your prompts, ask it to act as an. So in this case, acts as an experienced landscape business owner. Down here, when you're doing the RAMs, acts as a UK construction health and safety professional. When you're doing bill of quantities, act as a professional quantity surveyor specializing in landscaping projects. Then do your question or do your prompt. But like I said earlier, you don't have to be brilliant at prompts because it's designed in the background to just be nice and simple, easy to use. If you've got other things for an operations person, act as an experienced operations manager running a high-performing UK landscape company. For the project manager side, act as a senior project manager delivering high-end landscape builds. It takes on the persona of that kind of person. So what I would do, as I've got over here, so you've got easy access to everything, create a folder of what you need to do every single time. So if you are doing quotes, put the key things that you always need to have. Obviously, the individual project will be different every single time. So in this case, I've got the original client inquiry and that conversation and the early fact finding. I've also, in this case, got a garden designer brief, and also the site visit notes with all the measurements and everything you've got. But if you've got, I don't know if any of you have got one of these devices. I know some of you have. Claude is an AI recording device, but you don't even have to buy one of those these days. I've since discovered another little, much more cost-effective way of doing it on the App Store, or if you've got, an Android, you go on that store. There's an app called AI Summary. Very simple. AI Summary does exactly the same thing. Instead of having like your voice notes, sometimes like you record on your phone your voice notes, you can just open that up and record it as if you were recording it with voice notes. And as you walk around your job, you can commentate your way through it. So you can, if you're talking about a particular area, you can say area 1, and you talk about that. You do your measurements. You get every bit of information you would normally write on your pad. So with this, you don't even need your pad. Leave the pad in the truck, the van, the car. Leave your pen. You don't need that. You're just going to commentate. Whatever you do normally, you're going to talk your way through it. You can take a picture of area 1. You can take a picture of area 2, and you can commentate your way through that. Then you can send it straight away back to your email or to a WhatsApp number or wherever you want to send it. And when you get back to the office, you can add those into this folder, and then you can drag and drop those in. So one really, really important, the most important part out of the whole process is this document here, this spreadsheet, and that spreadsheet looks like this. So all your prices for everything, wherever you would normally pull all the information from, it's all stored ideally in one master spreadsheet. And you see here, you've got all the different levels of labor. You've got how much it costs you, what percentage markup you might have. So these are just for demo purposes. So whether you mark up as high as this, you probably don't, but you might do with some things. So you can change that, you can adapt that, and then what the sale price is. And down the bottom here, you see every single material cost and other costs you might have in the business. So you've got type 1, you've got sand, gravel, shingle, geotextile membranes. You've got the cost price from your supplier, what percentage you mark it up, and what you sell it at. And that's the same all the way along for masonry, for paving, for decking, for turfing and plants, lighting, irrigation, plant hire, waste welfare, and everything else, any other sort of sundries as well. So, and when you program your primary account, one really good thing and important thing to do is whatever products or services you offer, say to him, when I'm doing, say, hard landscaping, we always aim for a 45% gross margin. Save this information. So you've got your markups here on the spreadsheet, but then if it knows that you always want to be, when it produces quotes for you, you want to always make sure it's a 45% gross margin. It's going to remember that, and it's going to add that into the calculations as well. So just thought I'd show you that. So now I'll stop chatting away, and we'll just give it a little bit of a demo, and then we'll get into sharing all your stuff. So I'm just going to get my prompt sheet up. So I'm just going to move that out of the way. So the first one to do And you'll see how quickly it does it. I mean, it is ridiculous. Assuming that you've got everything you need, all the information that you normally have, once you've got everything in there, and in this case, I'm just going to drag and drop. You don't have to even click that plus button. You could just, if it's on another screen, you just pull it in. It takes a few seconds for each one of those to upload. And when I asked Chatty, as we call it, to create some demo documents for me to use to share with people, it made a point. I said, look, I purposefully kept them very, very vague because I want to get it working really hard. So with your information, the more you put in, the better output. Put crap in, crap out. You put great stuff in, you're going to get great stuff out. So look, I'm going to put you out of your misery. You can be very descriptive on stuff here. You can see here that on here as well, I've added ensure that price is 45% gross margin. So you can set your stopwatch now if you want, and you can see how quick it does this. So straight away, it's pulling in, it's analyzing the master rates document, and it's having a little think, search on the knowledge, and here we go. And if this template is in your kind of style and template, great. If not, put your one in, save it, and say, use this template for when whenever I ask you for a quote. And look, it breaks down the costs for each area without you having to type a word. And what I would say to you, because people say, oh, I can't trust it. I can't trust it. What about, how do I know it's going to be right? Look, the more you put in, the better. But if you've got previous quotes that you know were really good, like A grade, the ones that you would rather have more of, then say save these. And if when you first get started, you just want to run them alongside each other for a few weeks, just to make sure that for your own peace of mind, it's spitting out the right information, then do that. And when it's good, click save and give it the thumbs up. If it's bad, click down. And then it just gets more and more intuitive for you and what you want to use it for. So I'm not going to do too many. I'm not going to go through the whole lot of these prompts, but what I'm going to do now, I'm going to do the RAMs document, the RAMs and the COSH, and then I'm just going to do the bill of quantities, and that'll be it. But I'm not going to export it to a spreadsheet or anything. So now it's got all the information. Act as a health and safety professional, the things it must include, and then this is usually even quicker than the proposal, really, because it's got all the right information. So see straight away, a lot of people use existing ones, and they'll cut and paste and tweak and fine tune, but this is very specific to that project. So no fluff, no things you're going to need to take out. And what I would say to you with anything that it produces for you or your teams, don't just take it as gospel. You're saving so much time by not having to do all the donkey work that you then will have more time to actually sit down and scrutinize and analyze and check, double check, triple check, so that when it goes out, it's right. But you're just saving all the hours that it takes you to get to that point, all the legwork. So, I mean, in some cases, I've heard it could take an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, depending on the size of the project. I know a lot of you are doing very big projects. So the bigger the projects, the bigger the time saving is going to be. I mean, if it's taking you a day to do a quote, you could get that down to less than half an hour or an hour, as long as you've got the same information that you pull from on a when you do your quotes. So as long as you put all the information in, it will do all the calculations for you, and that is often the biggest time drain with these things. So that's the RAMs. Now the last one I'm going to do just for today, because I want to get into our stuff, is just going to ask you, and this is the longest part. This is the bit that takes the longest, but I'm going to get to do a full bill of quants. Act as a professional quantity surveyor. It must include these things. Let's see what it does with that. And you can export this as an Excel template, and you can put your own template in and save it. So you see now it's going through every single stage, each section. Does all the quantities. You can ask it to also do all the calculations as well. Be specific with that. And then if you think, save that for future requests, always do the unit, the quantity, the price, whatever you want it to create, it will do it for you. So you can see every single section, it's calculated all those. And that's pretty much Nearly done. There we go. Still going a little bit, but it's come to the end. There it is. That's that. Done. Thanks for taking the time to find out the best possible way to transform your business. Now, you've got two simple options. If you've come this far, you've clearly seen how the AI assistant will genuinely transform your business. So, you can either dive in straight away and be using the AI assistant within a matter of minutes by going to landscapebusinessmastery.com/pricing to choose the plan that suits you best. Or, if you still have questions and would like to book a chat with us, go to landscapebusinessmastery.com/contact and we can answer any questions you may have. We're excited to have you on this journey, and the future of AI is here. You can't be left behind.